Hey, sports porchers! It's your hockey Jesus, and the NHL has crowned its new champion of the NHL. It is the Florida Panthers. That's right, last night the Florida Panthers took down the Edmonton Oilers in Game 7. It was a 2-1 final, but boy, it was just an absolutely incredible game. I'm not going to go through all the everything that happened. You know what happened. Florida gets on the board first in the first. Edmonton ties it up right away with Janmark's goal. Verhage got a great tip from Erod. Your hockey Jesus said Erod's going to be a key to this game, and he was early. And then, after about 6 minutes of just fantastic hockey, back and forth, a, a puck that looked like it might have been gone in for Edmonton kind of gets pushed away. Verhage comes the other way with the Stanley Cup winning goal. He buries it, gets it past Skinner. Look, you cannot fault Skinner for that. Actually you can if you want, but look, Skinner played a great series. Everybody played really well. Everybody is semi down on McDavid for not scoring a point in Game 6-7 and still winning the Conn-Smythe. Here's the deal. This game totally felt like the 2009 game that I, your hockey Jesus, watched live and watched the Pittsburgh Penguins take down the Detroit Red Wings 2-1. It was a little bit different from the sense that the Penguins were up 2-0 and then it was a 2-1 game and Detroit was coming hard at the end, just like Edmonton was at the end. And honestly, Edmonton just ran out of gas. I think that's what really happened. I believe that they were actually going to score, and I was all ready for an overtime game, which would have just been absolutely incredible. But the Florida Panthers held on. They hoist their first Stanley Cup. Congratulations to the town of Sunrise. If that's even a town, I don't know. Maybe it's a neighborhood. All you people down there in Florida, enjoy the sun, the glitz of that cup shining once again in the Florida sun. Just going to be fantastic for the game. Sorry, Las Vegas, you are no longer the champs. It is the Florida Panthers. Congratulations to that franchise and all the fans down there in Florida. Congratulations. Just a great win for your organization. The first one is always the best. It feels the greatest. They all feel great, to be honest with you. I'm lucky enough to be able to watch my Pittsburgh Penguins win 5 of them. In Edmonton, do not hang your heads. You had a great series. You had a great playoff run. You fell just short. That totally reminds me of my Pittsburgh Penguins in 2008 when they fell short. They only got to 6 games. And I know you came the whole way back, you tied it up. It's still a great accomplishment. Do not hang your heads. Go strong into the offseason. Think about Skinner, maybe. You might want to upgrade that position, but honestly think that Skinner performed just admirably for you guys in the playoffs. And, like everybody else, you're going to be doing a little bit of soul searching. Here's the deal. Connor McDavid did not win in his first Stanley Cup Finals. Ain't no big deal. Wayne Gretzky didn't do it. Sidney Crosby didn't do it in his first time. It's perfectly fine to learn from this experience, come back strong next year, and see if you can get back into the finals. Everybody who's laughing at McDavid, shame on you for 100 years because he's a great player. He's good for the NHL. Let's talk just real briefly about the Conn-Smythe. Connor McDavid did win the Conn-Smythe in a losing effort. I, your hockey Jesus, am not a fan of giving the Conn-Smythe to the player that's on the losing team. Just not a fan of it. I think that regardless of his accomplishments, and they were great this postseason, they were Conn-Smythe worthy. He's an absolutely worthy recipient. I feel that the winner needs to come from the winning team of that Conn-Smythe trophy. Whether you give it to Barkov or you gave it to Bob. Barkov got all the second place votes, by the way, and we're going to talk about the voting here in just a second. And so Barkov really probably would have been the guy who got it and not Bobrovsky. He was the fan favorite for sure. Everybody wanted to see Bob raise that Conn Smythe. it's so hard when you lose those 3 games in the middle to say that he was worthy. Just like I think it's a little bit hard to give it to McDavid by not scoring a point in game 6 and 7. They both played fantastic series, all 16 games that Florida won, 15 games that Edmonton won. A problem I have with the voting a little bit is this. Why does Emily Kaplan get a vote? Somebody please explain to me why Emily Kaplan gets to vote for the Conn-Smythe winner. And Jim Matheson, I know he's a great reporter, been around for a very long time. I'm not going to besmirch him as as the guy who's been an Edmonton beat guy for a very long time. He's been critical with Draisaitl in years past. So it's not like he's necessarily a homer. But seriously, voting for 3 Edmonton Oilers, he voted for McDavid, he voted for Hyndman, and he voted for Bouchard. Somehow he thought that those 3 guys were deserving of the cup more than Barkov or Bobrovsky. I don't get it. I think that the voting is just a little off. And I think that's why, the Conn Smythe trophy, although is a great trophy and something to be proud of, that accomplishment is something. But boy, that voting is just a little suspect. At least that's the way your hockey Jesus feels about it. Here's the deal with Connor McDavid not coming out for the award. I don't think that's a problem at all. If you see the pictures of I can't even pronounce his name. The goalie from the Ducks, who I can't even pronounce it. Giger, the guy who last won it in a losing effort. He does not look happy to be receiving that thing. And it's very difficult after you lose something like that to go and grab it, which is why I think it needs to go to a winner. It needs to be something that's celebrated by everybody. Somebody in a losing effort wants to raise the Stanley Cup. They do. I think the Conn Smythe is still important to have an MVP of the tournament, but it's got to come from the winning team. That won't go over big. I don't care. That's my truth. That's the hockey Jesus truth to you, my disciples of hockey. So what's next? Hey, the awards are coming up tomorrow night. So if you want to watch some awards, all the people will be dressed to the nines, and the day after that, that's right, we already have the draft. So Caleb Celebrini is going to get drafted first, and we're going to see who's going to go the rest of the way. Unfortunately, my Pittsburgh Penguins do not have a first-round draft pick because we gave it up to the San Jose Sharks to get Carlson last year. And so I'm not really going to be too invested in the draft this year, although I think it's real cool that they're having it at the Sphere in Las Vegas. That should be incredible. My cousin Brenton's going to be there. I hope to see some video footage of that, Brenton. Send it to the Hockey Jesus. I'll get it posted for all you disciples out there. And what comes after that? What else? Free agency. That's right. It's right around the corner. It's actually here now. I'm sure people are really getting excited about that. It's technically not until July 1st, till after the draft, but let's face it, there are probably going to be some trades. The goalies that already moved, Markstrom and Olmark, they're already gone. They're already moving. People are moving, people. We're already thinking about 2024, 2025. I hope you'll be back to see the Hockey Jesus. I'll have a little bit more Penguin stuff. So I apologize for those of you who have really enjoyed, my coverage of these Stanley Cup playoffs. I hope the Penguins are in it next year so I can give a little bit of more of a Pittsburgh spin to things. But until then, enjoy your hockey, and disciples, make me proud. Go learn some hockey. Go tell everybody about this station, and we'll catch you I'll be back in the off season. I'm not waiting until the fall to start this thing up. You will catch me. So hit that bell. I'll be back, and I'll see you in the next